we do have a live shiny to start the day. Shout out to Elaine Skywalker. Dude, congratulations, man. I love seeing a live shiny. Golett is a fantastic hunt. It was underhunted for so long. I'm glad to see it finally getting some appreciation, man. Congratulations on your shiny, and thanks for starting the stream recap off with a bang, fellas. Welcome to our PokeMMO stream recap. I am Patrouski, your host for daily tips, tricks, information, discussion, all that jazz, everything happening around PokeMMO. I try to talk about it and talk about it well. Let's go ahead and jump into our daily catch events as per usual. There's a ton of catch events right now scheduled in PokeMMO, so let's try to cover them to the best of our ability. Boom, boom, boom. We got ourselves the shiny Cacnea catch event. This is today, so if you're watching the recap, it's a little bit late, so I'm going to speed through it. It's at 2 p.m. ET today, Route 111 in Hoenn. You have 1 hour to catch Cacnea, Trapinch, Ball Toy for different species bonuses, no nature bonus, and there is a shiny Cacnea up for grabs today. Good luck to everybody participating, and hopefully an Iron Man could get some reward points. We'll see. And then next up, tomorrow, so there's catch events Wednesday, Thursday, nothing Friday, catch events Saturday, Sunday. There's 4 catch events in the next 5 days. Insane. This one's on Thursday the 16th of July at noon, my time zone, noon ET. Obviously check your own time zone. Dewford Town, Hoenn. You got 1 hour to catch Wingull and Tentacle for different +3 and -3. Nature bonus +3 for Brave, +2 for Adamant, -2 for Naughty, -3 for Bold. And there is a non-shiny, weirdly a non-shiny Wingull up for grabs. But you know what? Pelipper is still a really good Pokemon, can be used in raids or PVM. So getting yourself a 6x31 or a 5x31 Pelipper is honestly still worth it, even though it is a little strange to see this be a non-shiny for a common Pokemon. It's also still reward points as well, and could be a really good catch event for Ironman to prioritize since there's no shiny. Main accounts might not show up as much. Next up, the weekend catch events. Saturday the 18th of July at 4 p.m. ET, Feudo Ironworks in Sinnoh. You've got 1 hour to catch Pachirisu, Gastrodon, and Luxray, and nature bonuses are on screen now. If you are not familiar with catch events, I have tons of videos on my channel that explain catch events, as well as how to increase your odds and increase your chances of winning catch events, and how to prepare for catch events. All 3 of those videos are on my channel. Next up, still in the same catch event, shiny Pachirisu is up for grabs. Really decent utility shiny. I think it has pickup ability, can spam discharge. I don't know if it has any placements in raids or PVM, but it's kind of a decent utility Pokemon from my understanding. Can super fang alphas, things like that. Next up, this is week 2 of the 8-week tournament catch event series. Okay, week 2. This is over at P2 Laboratory in Unova. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get all the way over there. It's Sunday the 19th of July at noon ET. You have 1 hour to catch Watchog, Herdier, and Ditto. It's probably best to just dodge the Dittos, but we'll have to see. I always stream most of these catch events live. You can always see what strategies I'm using, and I put what are the best strategies, or at least some of the best strategies, on a notepad document on my screen, if you're interested in checking that out during the catch events. Nature bonuses +3 for Adamant, +2 for Jolly, +1 for Quirky, and there is a non-shiny Watchog or Herdier up for grabs. These are non-shiny because the finale prize in week 8 of this event is like super rare shinies, including Zorua, Larvesta, and Archon, which are really insane shinies to win from catch events. And it's an 8-week kind of tournament. You got to win these qualifier points. I've covered this in previous stream recaps, but I can cover it again pretty soon, honestly, since it's been a little bit now, but not today. You can win some extra qualifier points, win some reward points, and win yourself a Watchog or a Herdier if you're interested, but not the most useful Pokemon, I'll be totally honest. Stoutland does pop up sometimes in NU, to be fair. Stoutland has Sand Rush, and usually, so fun fact, whenever Gigalith drops to NU, which it might be in NU right now, let's see. No, it is, well, I can't spell. No, it is not. Whenever Gigalith drops to NU, Stoutland becomes a menace, which is a very funny sentence. What happens is whenever Gigalith drops to NU, Gigalith has Sand Stream, so it sets up sand whenever it enters, and Stoutland has Sand Rush. So this Pokemon is like not very good normally, but it's like, look at its pairing. Even most of its matchups, it combines with a hippopotamus to get that Sand Stream so desperately. But Gigalith is a much better Pokemon. So when it can set up sand with a good Pokemon like Gigalith, hilariously, that's when Stoutland comes out to shine and pops off. So whenever Gigalith drops to NU, check out Stoutland win rates and percentages, and maybe win one from this catch event, man. Next up, more, dude, there's still like 2 more catch events, which is insane. On the 20th of July at noon ET, Celestial Tower in Unova, you could catch Litwick and LGM nature bonuses on screen to win yourself a shiny Litwick. Who doesn't need a shiny Litwick, Lampent, or Chandelure for PVM, PvP, beautiful shiny, utility, like Flame Body? Like, this thing is everything. Chandelure is truly a catch-all Pokemon. Everybody wants a good Chandelure. Everybody should have a 2x31's attack and speed, modest, maybe even plus a timid one. Like, Chandelure is a very, very versatile, very, very used Pokemon in PokeMMO in tons of activities. It's used in the Halloween, it's used in raids, it's used in the pumpkin boss fight, like not just raids, but also the like boss fight of the event. It's super, super useful. Get yourself a good shiny one from this catch event. Okay, next up, Farfetch'd catch event on the 23rd of July at noon ET, Route 39 in Johto. You have 1 hour to catch Farfetch, Meowth, Magnemite, and Rattata, and you've also got a shiny Farfetch up for grabs here. Now, is this a nod to upcoming encounter changes? That's the big question. Will there be some sort of like ×5 Farfetch tour? The developers have confirmed a lot of encounters will be changing very soon. What Pokemon spawn in what locations, what hordes, exist, etc., etc. And it's going to really shake up the metagame for Shiny War and really change the strategies last minute. People will have to strategize with about hopefully 2 weeks or so to prepare. I'm hoping they drop them. It wouldn't surprise me if encounter changes happen. We see a big PvE update in PokeMMO. A big PvE update in PokeMMO is probably coming in the next it could be 2 days, as soon as 2 days. Anywhere from the next 2 to 9 days, I would say. They've got to give us at least a week, at least 1 week to prepare, at least. But I would bet you they give us like 2 weeks. So I would keep an eye out. The next like 2 to 9 days, there's most likely going to be that big PvE update in PokeMMO. Hopefully nothing gets delayed or changed. That's the cross your fingers, but we'll see. Next up, dude, this is actually one of the biggest bug fixes in PokeMMO history, okay? Not because of its impact, but because of how fucking iconic it is. They are finally fixing the Aerodactyl tail sprite, chat. Dude, this has been a bug for years, for so long. If you don't know, if you bring up Aerodactyl in game, let me show you. His tail falls, you turn him around, his tail falls off every time he flaps his wings. You can't see it from the front, but from the back, it's so like egregious, right? It is just a visual bug. I've never given a shit about it. Honestly, I think it's funny. Some people it really bothers. I don't care. It's a visual bug. I don't care about stuff like that as long as it doesn't like impede gameplay. But I mean, it's funny. I think it's interesting. It's a big deal that it's finally being fixed. It is the end of an era. Like truly the end of an, yeah, someone in chat said that. I'm just copying Twitch chat. It's the end of an era, man. It's the end of an era. Rest in peace to the detaching Aerodactyl tail. Welcome in a new era of properly attached Aerodactyl, dude. God damn it. Anyways, next up, we've got the daily item market check. All right, we've got our daily item market check into our achievement showcase. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't have a whole lot to say or add when it comes to today's item market check. This item, if you don't know, is the Xmas present 2015, one of the first ever sealed products within PokeMMO. There was not Santa presents back then. It was only just the Xmas present. And when it comes to an item like this that is listed so infrequently and sells so infrequently, the data we have available on it is just not enough. These are listing datas, okay? These are not sold listings. So someone might have listed it for 250 million Pokeyen back on September 10th, 2024, but that most likely means it didn't sell for that price, right? So you have to factor that in and look, but it's good to still know the history of this item. Guys, be aware of that so you know if you do want to buy this item, what price you want to buy it at. And really, it's one of those things like you want to look at the bottom outs. Whenever this price is at like 29 to like 30 mil, if you really want this item, I guess that's the biggest takeaway here is if you really want to own one of these items or a few of these items, you really can't go wrong buying it anywhere between like 25 and 35 mil. I think that is like, you can't go wrong buying it at that price. But obviously buy it for whatever price you think is right or fair, because it's one of those like, this is a very rare, delicate item. Whatever someone is willing to pay for it is what it costs. And that's the backbone of like hyper rare, weird niche economy stuff like this. One of the oldest, rarest sealed products within PokeMMO, man, where there's usually 0 to 4 listed, 1 to 4 listed at a time. It's a good thing to know the history. There's been times where this item's reached 200 mil, 100, but have they sold for that? We just don't know. So like anywhere from, yeah, it's just good to like show you guys the history and be aware of this item, so you know like not to trust the number you see on the GTL. That's not always accurate. You want to get a larger picture, and hopefully the daily item market checks like this allow players to do that who wouldn't normally think to check something like PokeMMO Hub, which is an invaluable resource in my opinion. Now, we have the achievement showcase to cover. If you do not know what the achievement showcase is, it is a chat within my Discord where you can post your own achievements in the game and I will flex them for you on stream. It's a way to, number one, allow the fucking salt of the earth, ground, nose on the ground PokeMMO players to flex their achievements because you guys do some really cool shit. And then number two, it allows you guys to get some goals and like ideas on what you want to do today. The most important question is, what do you want to do today in PokeMMO? What do you want to grind? What goal do you want to work towards? That's the most important question. Okay, so we're gonna go jump to the achievement showcase, and we have Skeleton, who got his first ever storyline defeated in PokeMMO. It's a big step, man. Everybody only makes that step once. It's a big one. Your first storyline is the hardest one. Congratulations to you, Skeleton. Why'd I say it like that? Anyways, next up, Sleepy Dallas from Team Mush got himself a completed Pokedex, and he had his own journey. I love this, like 700 plus hours, 3 characters, 2 shinies later, I finally went ahead and bit the bullet and completed my Pokedex. Dude, not everybody has the same push towards certain goals, and I like this story behind this. A good example is me with RuneScape, dude. I hated questing in RuneScape. People always told me, oh, go get RFD done, Recipe for Disaster, go do Monkey Madness, and I was like, no, bro, I'm gonna max with black gloves on my main account, or on my ultimate. I was the 74th ultimate Iron Man in the world to max. I know, weird flex, but okay. But I maxed, I think, with rune gloves. Like, I was known in the RuneScape community for being so stubborn and not questing, because I fucking hated questing, and I liked playing the game in the way that I enjoyed, and I loved skilling, and I'd rather do Slayer with a dragon longsword up until Abyssal Whip than do Monkey Madness or do quests. And I did, man. I fucking rocked it out. And I fucking got it done in my own way. So I love journeys like this. Like Sleepy Dallas reminds me of that, man. So like, don't be afraid to play Pokemon your own way. You don't need to like follow the most efficient path or the most common trends. Next up, J Monarch got himself the Rayquaza King of the Hill legendary for the first time. You don't see this a whole lot, man. You don't see a whole lot of people go for the King of the Hill. It's cool to see someone flex this as an achievement. I love this achievement. More people should go for this little mini game. I need to go for it at some point. Congratulations to you, J Monarch. Next up, we got a story of shiny RNG evening and out, and I know that Durant has been waiting for this achievement to be featured for like over a month now. So Durant, here you go, man. Hey, it's Durant from Stream, a regular in my streams. After going 150,000 encounters dry on my main account for Axew, I finally got a shiny Axew on my new account on the second Axew horde on 37,000 encounters dry. And then 166 encounters later, he got himself a shiny Loudred to follow it up. Shiny RNG evening out, alt account RNG. Dude, sick to see. Congratulations to you, man. Next up, Mikey got his first ever OT shiny within PokeMMO and said, don't mind the encounters. Brother, that's what I care about. Nothing is more impressive than a new player getting their first OT shiny and doing it 77,000 encounters dry. This is so much more impressive to me than someone showing me a 7,000 encounter first OT shiny or a 700 encounter or whatever it may be. Pushing the whole point of shiny hunting is to go dry and push through. It's to push through these moments. I'd rather be flexing dry shiny hunts than wet ones, but they're just not as common, I guess. If you go dry on shiny hunts, please put it in my achievement showcase. You are the gamers that I want to flex and show off. I love that shit, man. I love going dry. I love seeing people do it, dude. It's a cool journey. In my opinion, it's the whole point of shiny hunting, dude. Congratulations to you, man. Next up, dude, I hear so many complaints about people running out of content that they are interested in within Pokemon, which I understand. I think there's so much content. I have infinite to do, and I'm always behind on my goals, but I understand like not feeling like you have enough for your roles personally. But I don't offer this solution enough the way that this guy did. Is Lukmis? It's hard to see the name. Started a main account in December, and I didn't really end up liking how fast I beat the storylines, and I didn't feel like there was anything for me after beating all 5 regions. I created an Iron Man account in March to slow down and challenge myself to catch more Pokemon, and I ended up really enjoying how the Iron Man played. Built my first 5x31 and bagged my first shiny. For some people, Iron Man is the correct game mode, and it's just, you gotta try it to figure it out. You gotta test it and see, give it a shot to see if that's what's for you. If you are someone who like beat all 5 storylines and you don't really know what to do, I mean, number one, I have videos on that, 63 things to do, and like goals and end game and post game content. It's very similar to Minecraft. So many people beat the Ender Dragon and they're like, oh, what do I do now? And you have to kind of be creative and figure out goals and things you want to do, like doing going for the mace, the hammer, or whatever it is in Minecraft, right? The mace, doing all the dungeons in Minecraft, or what do they call them? The trial chambers. You know, do you want to build a giant cobblestone castle in the sky? Do you want to build a giant greenhouse? You know, what do you want to do? PokeMMO is very similar in my opinion, where it's a sandbox game in that way, and you've got to figure out your own goals. I would love to have it be more direct and have more like MMO-y things to go do, but that's generally the thought process. But if you don't know if you just can't think of ideas, you don't have that direction, try an Iron Man account. An Iron Man account might be what you're looking for. So I should suggest that more honestly. Next up, speaking of Iron Man accounts, Iron Eternal, 2nd region completed, and I had an extra rule set on his Iron Man accounts where he had to build at least one 5x31 Pokemon per region. So he got his 2nd region done and built himself a modest 5x31 Typhlosion that will end up being a gym rerun, end up being PVM. Like this is gonna be so useful. You're gonna use this for the rest of time, dude. One of the most valuable Pokemon in PokeMMO is a nice Typhlosion. He got himself a nice Typhlosion in 2 regions, dude. No, this is really fucking impressive. I love the extra stipulations, the extra goals. Speaking of like looking for extra challenges or something extra to do in PokeMMO, man, this is a great way to go about it, dude. Next up, 9, 2nd shiny in my first week of playing Pokemon. 2 shinies in 1 week and finished all 5 regions, and both the shinies just happen to be damp Pokemon. I think one's a Golduck at like 1100 encounters. Is it 11k or 1100? One's a Golduck at like 1100 encounters, and then the Wooper is at 486. Insanely wet shunts, insanely lucky. 2 shinies in your first week of playing Pokemon. Congratulations. Next up, Wikes. We have a very long achievement showcase today, fellas, because I am trying to catch up on that. I'm sick of being backlogged, so we're going to show a lot of people's achievements in the future stream recaps for a while. Took a long break after finishing all regions and finally decided to get back into it and complete the OT Pokedex. Found my first shiny. This is Wikes' first shiny. It is 2x31 and 2x30, and he got it at 3,000 encounters or less. Okay, Wikes, pop the fuck off, dude. Holy, man. Just pop off, I guess. My mistake. Sorry, I'll get out of your way. You're the shiny hunting king. Like, that's fucking insane, man. Congratulations to you, dude. And, dude, now we're getting into some rare shit. Now we have 3 very rare, very cool things to talk about today. Very cool achievements. 2 of them are also Team Optic. There's a huge shout. Swirz from Team Optic got his first ever Swarm shiny, his first ever rare shiny, and he got it while in a team event, an Optic team event in voice chat. I called this screenshot Swarm Shiny Turtwig with the boys, because this is what fucking PokeMMO is all about, dude. Fucking being in voice chat with the homies, getting a crazy moment like this, getting it on fucking screenshots, getting it on Discord. Dude, this is sick, man. Having people react to it, sharing that moment with others during an event. Like, this is what MMOs are all about, man. I get fucking hyped up. Swirz, thank you for sharing this. Thank you for having this moment. This is fucking sick, and congratulations to you, gamer. Beautiful, beautiful. This is what I'm so glad you were. Everything, the event, the Discord, stars aligned type shit. So glad it happened the way it did. Okay. Next up, this is a crazy story attached to it. This guy got a shiny single encounter Scyther. Okay, and he got it over at that route 210 that I've hunted at a ton, right? Route 210. He was using lures, as you should there, and it was a double battle. He actually uploaded a video of this. If you want to go watch it, it's over on in my Discord achievement showcase. It's a double battle, okay? And it's the Scyther and a Geodude. He says some mistakes were made while catching. The Geodude used Explosion and almost killed the Scyther. It damaged the Scyther. And I think, I don't know, I'd have to run the calculations. Maybe that explosion never kills Scyther no matter what. But this Scyther just so happened to be 20 defense and lax nature, which raised its defense by 10%. There is a very good chance that if this thing was minus defense and like 5 or below defense IV, this rare shiny might have died to that not shiny Geodude, the Geodude using Explosion. which is like, I've never seen that circumstance pop up. Absolutely insane. I'm glad you were able to catch it, Colin. Congratulations to you, man. Also another team, that's back-to-back rare shinies for Team Optic. Now, this is an achievement that is hard to show without qualifying because it's insane. And I think people's first instinct when they see something this extreme is to assume malice. I think it's really important to remind people, whenever you see something extreme, I like to assume charitability. I know there's not a whole lot of that on the internet these days, but I like to assume charitability. When someone does something crazy, I like to assume they did it healthily and responsibly. Maybe they didn't, okay? But that's not my business, and it's not my place to judge, okay? I like to encourage playing PokeMMO for pretty long hours and doing it responsibly. We take stretch breaks every 3 hours on stream. I try to tell people, like, you know, I try to like lift dumbbells or like do, you know, you can do a standing desk treadmill stuff, like whatever works for you, or just go to the gym. If you play PokeMMO for 15 hours a day and go to the gym for 1 hour a day, you're probably healthier than the average fucking person. The average person's not going to the gym an hour a day. So like, it's one of those things, you can do things healthily even though it may not seem like it. So just try not to judge is what I ask. I think this is an insane achievement as long as it was done healthily. A lot of qualifications. Mistake has played 10,000 hours of PokeMMO in the past 2 years. That is 5K years. 5K years. In old school RuneScape, we had something called a 3K year was a good year. If someone played, I played about 2,000 hours on my Iron Man account. For reference, I play this game every day, you know, at least usually about 4 to 6 hours a day. I'm at a pretty healthy amount these days, a pretty low amount, honestly, for me. I played about 2,000 hours in 1 year on the Iron Man account, okay? The idea of over doubling that and pulling 10,000 hours within 2 years, I think someone calculated it, and it was 13 hours a day on average. Absolutely insane grinds. To do anything, to watch paint dry, to do anything for 13 hours a day is fucking impressive. It's a mental test. I know not everybody will understand this, but it is a mental test and it's a grind. And I find it very fucking impressive as long as it was done mostly healthily. You know, this is insane to me, Mistake. I think this is fucking sick. I think this is beautiful. This is one of those gaming flexes. Also, fuck it. I don't know. It's one of those things. If this was... everybody min-maxes everything these days. If this was done unhealthily, and then now you kind of pull back and you kind of chill out a little bit, okay, you were unhealthy for 2 years. Okay, life moves on. You know, it's, to be fair, like, that's... oh, no, he played too many video games. Oh, no, sue him. Kill him, guys. Everybody get him in chat. I don't know. It's one of those things. People just are very judgmental on the internet. I'm kind of... I get like on edge about it or whatever, but this is insane. This is an insane achievement, man. Congratulations to you, Mistake, for 10,000 hours played in PokeMMO. This is probably the most I've seen. This is fucking insane, dude. Congratulations, man. Someone said, what's your take on multi-account ditto farming on multiple Android like devices, like phones and laptops, stuff like that? I'm not against alt accounts. I think alt accounts have, this is my personal opinion, feel free to disagree respectfully. Alt accounts have existed in pretty much MMO to ever exist, and they've never been a hindrance on the economy. I think alt accounts are not the reason the economy is in a rough spot. I think people are being encouraged to play alt accounts due to the rough state of the economy, as well as players getting better and better and more efficiency and just getting better at the game. The same exact thing happened in old school RuneScape, where as players improved and got better and more efficient and more serious and all this stuff, we reached something where gold became 0 time. We haven't this I've been predicting this for years. This will happen in PokeMMO, but we have not gotten there yet. Okay, right now, if someone asks how long is an egg shiny hunt, I tell them like around 800 hours, and that includes the time it takes to make all the Pokeyen to do the shiny hunt. In RuneScape, we reached a point where the efficient players were expected to play 2 to 3 alt accounts at a time to maintain all of their gold for free. So gold, you were supposed to spend 0 time making gold. It was all 0 time and like on the side, which is, in my opinion, insane and very extreme, but it's logically correct. Like that, if you want to play the most efficient way, that is true, right? But to get back to like, sorry, I guess the more casual discussion or argumentation around ditto farming, alt accounts supply demand and supply. When someone is farming a ton of dittos on alt accounts, why are they doing it, right? They're farming alt accounts to make more Pokeyen. What do they do with that Pokeyen? They spend it. right? The only problem would be if someone was like farming a shit ton of stuff and then like hoarding Pokeyen. But even then, I would call that a greater problem of the economy if there's no incentive to spend, rather than blame the person or the individual. I think like Ginger Matt said earlier, and I kind of agree. I think alt accounts have kind of become a scapegoat, and like a external source of like frustration and anger, versus like the economy and PokeMMO is just not in a great spot in certain ways. It's in a great spot in other ways. I think there are positives. I've talked about this relentlessly. If you're a free-to-play player, which I don't like the term because almost everybody's a free-to-play player, like 95% of us don't spend like 20 bucks or less on PokeMMO a month. I don't spend anything. I don't like the term. It's like saying human gamer. Yeah, we're all human gamers, you know? But RP is cheaper than ever. That is very, very good for the average PokeMMO player. You know, I made a video recently. I haven't uploaded yet, so little sneak peek, called "Is 30-day donator status worth it?" 30-day donator status currently costs 2.25 million Pokeyen. The last time I made a video called "Is donator status worth it?", which I think is like 2 years ago, donator status, a 30-day, was 4.3 million Pokeyen. 30-day donos have almost halved in price, and nobody talks about that. We love to complain about the negatives. Nobody talks about that. Shiny Charms. Shiny Charms used to be 1 million Pokeyen a fucking piece at their peak, right? At their peak. And now Shiny Charms are 155k. In OG RuneScape, alting was actually against the TOS. That was in 2004, brother. Like, I agree with you. But there's a reason why it's not now. Right? There's a reason why alt accounting is allowed, and mostly allowed in most MMOs. There are some MMOs that ban it, but once again, alt accounts add supply and demand. When someone farms 30,000, you need, keep in mind also as well, the argument against Dittos is really funny to me, and feel free to disagree. Maybe I'm missing something. Feel free, if you're like, you know what, Patrouski, I see all your arguments, I respect them, I still just don't think the numbers line up, I still disagree with you. Based, valid, fair-pilled, okay? Giga Chad, even, okay? But I would say, right, if someone is, every time, most people who are farming alt accounts are rare shiny hunting, or they need so much Pokeyen. Because if you have 10 million Pokeyen, right, if you have 10 million Pokeyen, you can buy 99% of the things in PokeMMO. You only need more than 10 mil if you want super rare vanities or rare shinies. So someone who is playing alt accounts to make all that money is spending it and consuming dittos and consuming resources and keeping the economy flowing and moving at a faster pace. Honestly, I would argue alt accounts are a positive in slow times in the economy. They're almost always a positive. You need 30,000 dittos for one rare shiny. 30,000. Do you know how long it takes to farm 30,000 dittos? You catch about 40 or so dittos an hour. You can do like 48. You can do a little bit more if you're really efficient. But like, let's do 30,000. It takes 750 hours. 750 hours to farm 30,000 dittos. And you consume 640 dittos an hour. Not an hour, excuse me. When you're making the eggs, you have to then hatch all the eggs, and that takes a bit. But like, it's the pace is crazy. The ditto in versus ditto out thing is like not. Dittos are expensive. If the real thing is like, once again, if alt accounts farming ditto were a problem, the base dittos wouldn't be so expensive. That's what they're doing it for. But the problem is the IVs are cheap. But the IVs aren't cheap because of alt accounts. In my opinion, I could be wrong. Let me qualify again. My opinion. It's hard to draw. There is no objective way to draw a direct correlation here. This is my opinion. In my opinion, I've said this over and over and over again, IVs are being declined due to alphas. And I think there is a very interesting like timeline where like we saw alphas come in and things go down. Alt accounts have always existed in PokeMMO. Now they've gotten more popular. I'm not going to sit here and like, oh no, they've always, so it's not a problem. I think it's a fake argument. They've gotten more popular and they've gotten more normalized, but I think it's due to, once again, it's a byproduct of the state of the economy, and it's harder to make Pokeyen on one-main accounts, as well as a product of players getting better and more talented at the game and more efficient and carrying more. It's not a bad thing. I think alt accounts is more effort for more reward, and I have no problem with that. Once again, I've always compared alt accounts to like the guy who picks up like an extra job, a guy who's working 2 jobs when inflation happens. Do you blame him for the inflation, or is it like, oh, he's got to work 2 jobs because of inflation. You know what I'm saying? Or also, like, once again, he's not a negative. If someone wants to work 2 jobs, they can. That's the beauty. That's the beautiful part of, you know, at least where I live, right? Like, I think it's a beautiful thing. I think if someone wants to put in more effort for more reward, they shouldn't be punished, personally. I think if it's hurting the economy, I don't think it is. But if it's hurting the economy, maybe like a very small percentage. That's a good question as well. As if you're anti-alt accounts, what percentage do you think is hurting the economy? I would guess it's 10% or less, but probably even less than that. I maybe like a 10% is, like, I think, generous in my opinion. Yeah. I've talked about it, a fair bit. I'm basically talking about it. I remember like a year ago making the argument about alphas. I'm people really followed. I tried to talk about, I've talked about this a lot, but it's good to re-go over because not everybody, you know, sees it, right? Yeah, Pat's been talking about the alpha issue for almost my entire time here. I've talked about it a lot, yeah. And dude, let me qualify. I didn't think alphas would be an issue. This is an opinion that I changed on for the better. There were people that when alphas released were like, Patrouski, don't you think this will hurt the economy? And I was like, no. For the first 1 to 2 years of alphas, I was like, no, I don't think so. I think it's fine. If it gets to that point, surely the devs would I don't think the devs would implement a system where it would hurt the economy. And if it gets to that point, surely the devs would like rebalance them or make a thing or whatever. I was wrong. Like, the alphas are a good example of me changing my opinion because I was fucking wrong. And I don't think I should have been more concerned from the start. I think that's like a hindsight thing. But I do wish the devs have made a nerf to alphas sooner or made a change in some way. That's how I feel. And I did trust them in that way. And that sucks. But also, I don't know. That's a whole thing, right? Yeah, it's in 2023. Yeah. Alphas came out in like what? 2022? I did not think alphas were a problem until like 2025. 2024, they were becoming a problem. And then 2025 was like, okay, wait a minute. We need a nerf. It took about 3 years of alphas being out to be like, okay, wait a minute, you know? And we have never seen IVs decline in this way. This has never happened prior to alphas, personally, you know, from my experience. But that's my thoughts. A lot of opinions, a lot of thoughts. If you disagree, feel free to. All I ask is do it respectfully. Hopefully I've been respectful about my presentation. And if I haven't, I apologize. It's never that serious. I never want someone to feel offended or hurt by my opinions or thoughts. These are just my opinions and thoughts about PokeMMO. I think as long as our goal here is to improve the game, we can have an amazing discussion. That's all I care about. Great question and talking point. Pat, do you believe everyone who is benefiting from alphas is only beneficial to players that have played longer? It's the total opposite of this, actually. As players can buy better IVs for cheaper, while the newer players are getting the bad end. It's the total opposite, as they can sell their alphas for as much, so it makes it harder to get to end game. It's the total opposite, which is kind of once again a positive thing in certain ways. It is one of the best times right now to be a new player in PokeMMO. And I talked about that recently due to the timeline, but also due to the market. This market is a new player's paradise. Alphas being catchable and easily accessible, low IV Pokemon being buildable. Like right now, you can go build a Jimmy Run team for cheaper than you ever could. People with the Jimmy Run teams, with the catching Pokemon, with all that stuff, like that's when you're like, okay, in a weird spot. But like people who need to build, new players who need to build Brelooms, Typhlosions, all raid Pokemon heading it, like it's never been cheaper. It's a good thing, right? The problem is right now you reach endgame too fast in PokeMMO because of how cheap everything is, and they're not being sustainable value and everything going down and down. It's so on the positive, in my opinion, I don't like the state of the current economy, but there are positives and negatives to everything. If anyone tells you, oh, the economy is just bad, in my opinion, that's a very like surface level take, or very like everything is positives and negatives. The game right now is very positive for new players. Very positive. It's honestly a little harmful for mid to endgame players who want to do catching for profit methods or money-making methods that involve Pokemon, as well as just a variety of money-making methods. But it's getting better. I don't know. I am starting to I've been playing the Iron Man account, so I haven't been able to refute a lot of claims. I often just believe what people say to be charitable. But I've been breeding for profit on the main account, fellas, and I've been making fucking racks. So I don't know. Is it harder than before? Yes, it absolutely. It's harder than 2 years ago. You have to like breed a little bit more sparsely, or like know what Pokemon to breed, which takes game knowledge. Don't get me wrong. But like every time I do a little flipping or do a little share the wealth with us, I've been making videos. I've been uploading videos. Like recently I bred, I made like 600K or some shit, or 400K. I forget the money, in like 45 minutes of breeding recently. I uploaded and put in a video. You got to watch the videos. I'm uploading, you know? I'm showing the methods. I'm showing the strategies, but it does take game knowledge. I'm not going to sit here and like, it's not everybody could do it. No, it takes a lot of game knowledge and experience. And hopefully I can share some of that to some extent. But no, the market is in a really, really good spot for new players. It's in the best spot it's ever been in for new players. Once again, RP is cheap. The XP reamplifier has never been cheaper. Donor status is cheap. Shiny charms are cheap. Utility Pokemon, Jimmy Run Pokemon, everything for a new player is cheap. To build a new Pokemon account from scratch right now, it's never been better. The hard part is there's not a ton of versatile or like, there's not a ton of options for money making on a new account, which sucks. You have Ninkata farming, which is fantastic. And then you have like Jimmy runs and trainer reruns. And like, there's not a lot of, I think you know what it is, we're running out of mid-tier money making methods. Everything is like 300K an hour plus, like berry farming, trainer reruns, Jimmy runs, flipping, breeding, and then everything else is like 100K. I think we lost, you know what it is, I think we lost like 200K per hour methods. We don't have that many of those. We have like amulet coin farming, fossil farming. That's all I can think of. Maybe some protection for profits, but like it's pretty rare these like to have that these days. That's my thoughts. Once again, just rambling a lot today, just talking about the game that I love, just my thoughts and opinions. Feel free to disagree. Just my thoughts and opinions. I'm just one guy, just one little player of PokeMMO. There's many players out there who have many thoughts and feelings, which are all valid, just as valid as mine. I'm just a guy with a camera. This is a great quick question from stream for the recap. Someone said, if I buy, for example, like Charmanders off the GTL to breed for a shiny, will the shiny come out as unknown OT since I didn't catch any of them? You are free to buy your breeders as long as you have that Pokemon caught OT in your Pokedex. So as long as your Charmander is green squared in your Pokedex, you can buy all the Charmanders you want and breed them, and they will come out your OT. Yes, just make sure. That's why having complete Pokedex is like a weirdly positive thing for egg hunting, just in case. I have seen people like breed like a shiny Snivy with unknown OT because they didn't have it. So make sure if you're ever breeding anything with eggs, make sure to have it caught OT in your Pokedex, pretty please. I'm also wondering if the 2026 Charizard reward from Shiny World will return in 2027. I believe the devs said yes, it will. I think Rach said on the forums, that their plan is to bring back the rewards each year, but also add a new reward each year, which is what they've done. This is kind of what they do historically. For holiday events as well, they usually bring back a similar event, but add a few things on top. And people always think, oh, they're just copy pasting events. Well, yes, but they're also adding new things every year. There was a time 3 years ago in PokeMMO where if they added the Justice Trio to Terrakion, Virizion, and Cobalion, people would have lost their fucking minds. That would have been the biggest update to the game in fucking forever. And it happened this year and nobody even blinked an eye. And I feel bad. The expectations have just moved and like upped and up and upped and moved because they've done so many amazing updates that now like anything that doesn't reach those is just not good enough, which is kind of sad. But that's also, I mean, it's also just happens. It's like, it's how it's human. It's very, very human. But it's good to know the history and be aware of, right? If a new legendary is added to the game, in my opinion, that's a really big deal. That affects PVM, affects PvP, affects raids, affects everything. It's a new piece of content. We got 3 new raids, 3 new legendaries, for example, and people still call it a copy paste event, you know? I agree with that so much, to be fair, Cody. I don't know why they said 17 new raids. I think that was a total mistake on their end. I totally agree, because they weren't 17. It was 17 raids like in total, but it wasn't 17 new raids. I don't know why they said that. I could not agree with you more. That was a mistake. That was a huge mistake. But the Justice Trio was cool, you know? But so they do copy paste events, but they add something new. Like this last year, dude, randoms PvP holiday event randoms PvP, one of the coolest updates we've ever seen in the game. Holiday event randoms PvP was so fucking sick. They had it for Halloween, Lunar New Year, all the different events. They had a sealed product for each of them, which had specific vanities in them. Like that was a crazy cool piece of content. I think once again, I'm a big fan of like, there are positives and negatives to everything. If you're going to critique PokeMMO, you must also talk about the positives. And I try to do both. I try to talk about positives and negatives. If you know someone and all they ever do is talk about the positives and glaze the game, in my opinion, that's a red flag. Or if you know someone where all they do is like complain about the game nonstop and only about the negatives, in my opinion, it's a red flag. That's not someone who's engaging with the discussion in a very productive way, in my opinion. But you need both. You need both. You need a good balance, in my opinion. That's my thoughts. Wishing stones, yeah, we can get into the negatives if people want to just complain. Like, yeah, wishing stones suck. I don't know what to say, you know. Yeah, wishing stones are one of the biggest mistakes they've ever made. It's very, very goofy. It is what it is. Someone said just looked up XP charm 25%. Someone said just looked up XP charms. Since when is there 25% and why is it 1 mil Pokeyen? 1 mil might actually be kind of cheap for that, hilariously. It's a collectible item. These are actually, this is up, to be fair. These are not 50k, to be fair. These are discontinued. These don't come into the game anymore. They were only in older events, and I doubt they'll come back. Like, this is a discontinued collectible item is the reason why. It's a good question. It's funny to see those pop up next to the other XP charms. Alrighty, fellas, it is either time for your favorite part of the stream recap or your least favorite part. It is time for the MOVIETROUSKI takes. I've been super into movies over the past year and a half or so, as I think movies are a really good hobby to do alongside PokeMMO. It's a very grindy game. We could put second monitor content. That second monitor content can sometimes be movies. And me and my wife have been going to the movie theaters a ton, which has allowed me to see a lot of these movies. We get the battle pass to our local movie theater, and that allows us to get a really good price, really good deal, and go see infinite movies. Let's go ahead and go through these. First things first, we have the Boondock Saints, which is with William Dafoe and then some other fucking homies. It's mostly just William Dafoe that I know in this movie. Thank you for the bits, I'll thank you properly for the super chat after this clip, Sleepy. But thank you so much, Sleepy, for the 10 euro gamer. That's a very generous. Thank you so much. Boondock Saints is funny. Oh, doesn't it have the wait a minute? Doesn't the Boondock Saints have the guy from The Walking Dead? Yes, Norman Reedus. Yeah. I haven't seen The Walking Dead, but I know he's like yeah. Who's also in the video game Death Stranding. He's one of the main characters in the Boondock Saints. The Boondock Saints is so weird. It's like a it has a ton of fade to blacks, fade in and fade outs. The editing is very weird. This movie is incredible. It's very like slapstick action, self-aware and kind of ironic, but very fun. It's a very weird movie. This is a great, you know what it is? Boondock Saints, I give it a 7.3 out of 10. My wife fell asleep during it. She didn't really care for it that much. I think it's a fantastic boys' night movie. Watching this in a group with the boys, the Boondock Saints is a peak boys' night movie. So it's not a great movie, but it's a fun movie. Check it out. The Fox and the Hound. Me and my wife have been dog sitting a lot recently. We watched The Fox and the Hound with some dogs staying at our place, and that was really cute and sweet and wholesome. The Fox and the Hound is one of the most classic like Disney movies. I'm not a huge Disney movie guy, but these old like 60s animated ones. Or sorry, The Fox and the Hound from the 80s, 81, apologies. There's just something magical to it. There really is like a hard to explain, like very human attachment, beautiful element to the animation and stuff. I really liked it. I gave it a like 9 out of 10. I can see exactly, actually. I gave it a 8.8 out of 10. Next up is Identity Thief. Dude, what's so sad is I was looking forward to this movie for so long. It's Jason Bateman and Melissa McCarthy, which I adore both of them, and I love dumb comedies like this. The 2013 dumb comedy, and I feel like that era just had a tough time fighting their footing with comedies. You know? I think the post-2010 era of comedies has kind of struggled a little bit. Was Hangover 2011 or was that 08? I know Step Brothers was 08, which is crazy that it's that old. The 2000s were amazing for comedies, but 2010s were a little weird. Identity Thief just kind of fell flat. It's a very sad movie, much more than comedic. A 2.8 out of 10. It was very uncomfortable. It was an uncomfortable watch for a lot of it, and it's sad. I really was excited for that movie for a long time, and I knew it wasn't well reviewed, but I wanted to be the outlier who actually liked it because I love those two people. Next up, Masters of the Universe. Watch this in theaters. This is the new He-Man movie. Bro, I grew up in a generation that does not give a shit about He-Man. He-Man was too old. It was too boomer for me. And Masters of the Universe, I was very excited. The trailer looked really fun to me. And this movie was like about what you would expect, man. I gave this a 9 out of 10 theater experience. This is a great movie to see in the theaters. It looks amazing. But Overall, I gave it a 8.2 overall score. I gave it 3 different scores. I gave it a 7.6 as a movie, 9 out of 10 as a theater experience, and then an 8.2 overall. We're gonna go with the 8.2 to simplify things. 8.2 out of 10. Okay. And the best way that I can describe Masters of the Universe, it's kind of Quirk Chungus-y, but it's fucking He-Man. So that's kind of what he's cheesy and goofy and has like the hairstyle and like the abs and like it's kind of like a goofy meme, right? My top part, my like first point in this review is like me when Marvel is Quirk Chungus, ew, yuck, gross. Me when He-Man is Quirk Chungus, haha, that's funny and endearing. I think it's the best way to describe Masters of the Universe. It's a funny and endearing movie. I think it's cute. I think it works. If you don't like it, I totally get it. I give it an 8.2 out of 10 overall. Next up, Jackass number 2. I think this is the best Jackass. I think it's I gagged at this movie. I fucking gagged. I looked away. I winced. I gave Jackass 2 a 9.7 out of 10, which I know is very high. I'm not even a huge Jackass guy, but like Jackass 2, there is something deeply human about Jackass. I do love it. Is truly like against the grain and counterculture to a non-edgy, non-cringe way, in my opinion. And I feel like Jackass 2 has some of the best bits. The editing of Jackass 2 is so underrated. Like the directing, why is it actually fucking creatively done? And it's not just like strung together guys doing dumb bits. Like all like the style, there's so much style and aura to Jackass. And I think number 2 is just Jackass at its peak. The Death of Robin Hood. The Death of Robin Hood, my wife did not care for this movie. We watched it in theaters. I think this movie is a movie that I will love when I'm old. I called it beautiful unk slop. I gave it a 7.4 out of 10. It is about age. It's about getting older. It's about the misperception of people's lives and things like that. The problem is that the movie overly vague posts and some scenes are just really long for what they are. So Death of Robin Hood, I gave it a 7.4 out of 10. When I'm like 80 years old, it wouldn't surprise me if I give this movie like a 9 or 10 out of 10 or some shit. It's beautiful unk slop. You can watch it. I think it came out on Father's Day. You could go watch it with your dad or uncle or whoever. It's a good bit. Next up, Toy Story 4. Man, I really did not like. It's not the new one. There's Toy Story 5 as well, and I watched that. Is that in the same MOVIETROUSKI take? Toy Story 4 is rough. Toy Story 4 is one of the most beautiful. Toy Story 4 is more beautiful to me than Toy Story 5, animation-wise. Toy Story 4 is straight up some of the most beautiful animation and like lighting animation I've ever seen. The animation is insane in Toy Story 4. It's ridiculous. But the story, it's just very nothing. They add nothing. It's very unemotional. It just feels it feels like a filler plot line. I just did not care for the story and plot at all. And there's not a whole lot of character development in this one. I did, and it felt very like, I talk about in Toy Story 5, some things feel shoehorned. It feels a little bit, they do a lot of flashbacks to, like create a new story. Like in the new, I don't know why they keep doing that in the new, I don't like that at all. It feels very cheap. But it's a kids movie. You could say, it's a kids movie, but there's also like kids movies like Finding Nemo or Toy Story 1, 2, and 3, which are all amazing movies. So like, I don't know. It's tough to say how much leeway do you really give it, you know? Supergirl might be one of the most overhated movies of the year. I don't want to talk too much on it because people are just insane about it. I think it's a 7.6 out of 10. I think it's a totally serviceable, fun superhero movie. I think it's slightly better than the Fantastic Four movie. I think the main actress fucking kills it. I think she's perfect. I think this character could be so cringe and could be so like Quirk Chungus-y and like, ugh, like, oh, I'm so different. I just can't find my people. Oh, I'm so unique and special. But Millie fucking kills it. She actually like seems real about it and feels fucking depressed, and like her performance I think makes it work. It could be really cringe. I think she does a great job. I thought it was a very serviceable, fine superhero movie. I gave it a 7.6 out of 10. I gave to compare it, I gave Fantastic Four a 7.5 out of 10. What a soulless movie, but still fun, but like very unemotional. I gave the recent Superman about a year or so ago, like 8.5. I think that movie is like, the recent Superman is like the definition of an 8.5 out of 10 movie in my opinion. It's such a bar that I still use to this day when thinking about movies. Like Fantastic Four being 7.5 and Superman being 8.5 are like metrics I think about still to this day. Next up, dude, the Minions movie. People love this movie. I don't get it. I mean, I do get it. I think there's two, okay, there's 3 types of people who like this movie. There is kids, number one. There is parents who saw it with their kids who had a good time. Number two, I gave it a fucking heart. I gave Minions a 3.2 out of 10 and a heart. And then I think the third person who likes this movie is cinephiles who think the movie is really good because it references a bunch of old movies from the 1920s. I think that's about it. And the references, yeah, it's fine, it's cool, it's whatever, but it's reference. I don't like reference. That's why, the same reason I don't like Ready Player One. I hate content where it's like, I get that reference. Oh my, PogChamp, Poggers, guys, I understand that reference. To me, it's the cheapest form of entertainment. I think it is I find it insufferable to a disgusting degree. Like it's honestly a personal problem and a pet peeve. I find it very, very annoying when content is like that, but there's nothing wrong with that, honestly. So I'm not a huge fan of Minions and Monsters, although I did give it a like because I watched it with my wife and she liked it, and I think that's cute and funny. So there you go. Once again, like, to qualify, like, please feel free to disagree. These are just my opinions. Me and my wife disagree drastically on some of these, so like, don't take it as my wife really liked Minions and Monsters. Next up, Toy Story 5. I really enjoyed Toy Story 5. I shockingly enjoyed it, man. I was really worried with the whole, like, it's like it's gonna be like boomer, like anti-tech, tech is always bad. No, it gave a pretty like fair, balanced take on, like, I thought it was really wholesome. I don't want to spoil too much. I was pleasantly surprised by Toy Story 5. I was not expecting a whole lot. It's a really wholesome and lightly inspiring watch. I give it a 5.2, or sorry, not a 5.2, an 8.2 out of 10. I think it's a really cute, well-timed movie for the next generation, man, and I hope it makes a lot of people happy. It's a really cute movie, man. Meet the Spartans. This is a movie that I watched a lot growing up. It's a parody movie, kind of like Scary Movie, but much worse. I watched this movie a shit ton. It played so many times on like Comedy Central or like cable TV, and I loved it growing up. When I was 12 years old, nothing was funnier to me than Meet the Spartans. As an adult, this was such a hard movie to watch. I gave it a 2.3 out of 10, and I said I had so much nostalgia watching this on TV so many times growing up, and all of that nostalgia faded so quickly, and I was just left with disappointment. This movie is not good. I was bummed. And then I rewatched Weapons. I love Weapons. I love Zach Cregger. I grew up watching his comedy sketch troupe, and then the fact that I grew up watching when they came back on, if you don't know, Whitest Kids You Know was a sketch comedy group that I used to love, and I watched them, and they had Trevor Moore, fucking Zach Cregger, obviously, Trumaner, Darren, you got Timmy Williams, you got like I love them all, bro. Sam Brown. I used to watch them on Twitch. They streamed on Twitch during COVID. I love those guys so much, man. I watched a lot of their content. To see Zach take the Jordan Peele route, not that, I mean, Jordan Peele's taken the John Carpenter route. So many people it's crazy how many people have gone legendary, like, have gone from sketch comedy to horror. It's a tale as old as time. Jordan Peele was not the first to do it, but he's an amazing example. So many people go from sketch comedy to horror. It's so interesting. It's very, very cool. But to see him have the success that he has makes me so fucking happy. Obviously, I don't fucking know him. This is like a parasocial a little bit, to be honest with you. But it's just cool to see someone, you love their content for so long, to go on to do Barbarian and Weapons. And Weapons was a little overrated. Like, Barbarian was so much better. It's crazy to me. Like, I think Weapons got all the attention, but it's because people like found Barbarian's so good. Barbarian is like a 10 out of 10. I think Barbarian's a perfect horror movie. Weapons, I gave an 8.6 out of 10. I think it's not as good on the rewatch, honestly. I think the first watch is a lot better, which is sad to say. I gave the first watch, I think, like a 9.2 or something like that. I can actually see. I think on the first watch, I gave it a 9. And then on the second watch, I gave it a 8.6. So I lowered it a little bit, but it's still really unique. Still a really cool style, really cool directing style, really cool horror movie. Still worth watching, obviously, but a little overhyped, than I would say. And I love Zach Cregger to death. I don't know him, but you know what I mean. That's my MOVIETROUSKI takes. Thanks for watching. You can skip it if you want with a timestamp, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any movie suggestions, I love movie suggestions. Check comments down below. I'll watch whatever I can, whatever I have time for, whatever I can. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, fellas, we got catch event results. In fourth place, we got Die Miter with 20. We had 2 people in Twitch chat with 22s. But hey, man, Die Miter, cool name, takes the win with a 20-pointer. Congratulations, man. Congrats on the fourth place, dude. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Next up, third place. This guy was coming in Twitch chat saying he was hoping to win as well. He had a 170. Congratulations, man. 170, third place. Pennsylvanian. Congratulations, dude. That's a really good score. It's a high. It's a above average, I would say, third place. I'd say on average, third place is around a 168, but recent events have been like really high. So there's third place. Second place, 172 from King of the Gamer. King of the Gamer, dude. I like the name. 172, second place. Congratulations. Caught at 6:46 p.m. UTC. I think first place tied. Yo, it's Ivka. Wait, that's a chatter. Wait, that's like a regular. Yo, I won. Why are you so casual and chill about it? Yo, I won. GG's. What do you mean, yo, I won? Dude, fucking huge congrats. Shiny Cacnea, 1000 RP. Ivka, 172 points, 629. You won off a tie, and you're over here being nonchalant aura farming in fucking chat, dude. Congrats, man. Congrats, Ivka, dude. Hell yeah. Wow. That's sick. It coming down to time, you don't see that a whole lot. Like for first place, for second and third, you see it sometimes, but for first place, the time is cool to see, man. Congratulations to you, gamer. Thank you guys for participating in another catch event. As always, it's always cool to see. And honestly, we're gonna weave this into the Iron Man clip. I've got to buy more berry harvesters, so just for the sake of the clip, boom. That's 350k. Boom, boom. It's another 700k dropped on berry harvesters. I needed them, fellas. I gotta get those Leppas before the Shiny War pops up. We're gonna start really focusing on Leppas here very, very soon. But there you go. Another catch event in the books, fellas. But alrighty, fellas, a little, what is that, 4-hour stream today? That was a 4.5-hour stream, shockingly, honestly. I had a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like the stream if you didn't. Dislike, like the stream if you did like it. Dislike if not. Dislike either way. Anyways, subscribe. Follow me on Twitch for streams, usually Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET, but they're a little up in the air as these catch events towards the end of Shiny War Prep, like, are kind of playing out. I'm trying to just stream every catch event that I can. Discord down below if you're interested in that. If you want to go above and beyond and support the content, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal and Venmo donations keep the lights on and allow me to do things like these streams, and especially allow me to commit so much time into Shiny War. Support during Shiny War, guys, is going to be really fucking greatly appreciated, but please only do so if you can afford it and I've earned it from you. If you've watched enough hours of my content to warrant a sub or a gifted sub or a above and beyond donation, make me earn it from you. Make my content be helpful enough. That is super fucking important to me. Have a great day. Enjoy PokeMMO. Good luck on your shiny hunts, especially today, and I'll see you guys later. For now, peace, Reno, fellas. Yo, what's up? Outro Patrouski here, and I wanted to say thank you so much to everybody's name who is on this list. You really allow me to make the content that I do every single day, and I hope I can make it worth your guys' while and add to your PokeMMO journey. Thanks again so much for watching the entire video, and have a great day.